If you are living in an apartment in India, then you already know this. Buying a flat is just the half of the story. The real fight starts when the maintenance bill arrives. There is maintenance, one-time fee, club fee, GST, corpus fund and whatnot. Suddenly you are paying thousands of rupees without knowing what is actually required and what you can legally refuse to pay. In this video, I am going to discuss which apartment maintenance charges you are legally required to be paid and which you can challenge or even refuse to pay if the builder or the apartment association has not done things correctly. Stay with me till then because we'll be discussing the one core rule and RERA keeps talking about maintenance. Three types of charges that you cannot escape from once they are legally levied. Specific situations where you can legally say no, these charges are not acceptable. And finally, how you can fight an unfair bill without interrupting your basic services like lift and water. No matter which city you are living in or which city you are planning to buy a house, if you understand these things, you'll save a lot more time in terms of argument and misunderstanding about maintenance. The hardest truth. Across RERA guidelines, consumer rulings and Supreme Court direction, one thing is very clear. Maintenance charges are not optional once they are levied under the law, your agreement and society bylaws. This means that once the possession is given as a flat owner, you are required to pay the maintenance whether you have moved in or not. Even if the flat is locked, you have to pay the maintenance for security, lifts, common lightings and shared repairs because these are all shared costs. As a builder, the builder is supposed to bear the maintenance till the handover. Once it is done, the association or RW is formed and it collects the maintenance from the owners. So simply saying I don't live here, I'm not going to pay, or I don't use the gym, I'm not going to pay does not work in front of any authority. But there is a big however here. Maintenance has to pass 3 tests and if any one of these fails, you have the rights. For a maintenance charge to be strong in law, 3 things should be there. 1. Legal authority. It has to come from the RERA rules, your state apartment law, your registered by law or your signed agreement. Second, proper disclosure. Builder should clearly mention the maintenance charge in the agreement of sale, that is the rate inclusion, advance amount and how long they are going to collect it, and it should not be hidden by printing it in small or add it later. Third, due process for change. Once the association is formed, increase in maintenance should be discussed in a general body meeting backed by budget and accounts and not to be decided by a few people in a WhatsApp group. So if a charge passes all these three, then it is very difficult to refuse. But if it fails even one, then you have the right to question it and sometimes even refuse to pay that part. But let's be very clear what you cannot walk away from once this is legally set up. Firstly, the monthly maintenance bill for common services. Second, approved sinking fund or corpus. And third, reasonable uniform policies. I'll be explaining all these things in detail in the pinned comment section, so make sure that you check the pinned comment section for all the details related to these 3 things. So the idea saying that I'll stop paying maintenance and I'll argue later is a really bad strategy, but the real power lies in knowing what part is legally weak and attacking only those parts. So now coming to that part which you all have been eagerly waiting for, what you can question or refuse. There are 4 areas over here. Firstly, charges not disclosed in your agreement. If the builder asks for a one-time maintenance fee, handover fee or club fee and none of this is clearly written in your agreement of sale, then you can dispute it. RERA and consumer law both treat undisclosed or surprise charge as unfair. You can insist, show me where this is written in my signed document. Second area, pre-oc maintenance. Before the occupancy certificate, builders cannot behave like a complete society. They are still responsible for much of the upkeep. Limited charges for basic upkeep may be allowed if disclosed, but demanding a full-fledged society-style maintenance for an incomplete project is something residents have challenged successfully. Third area, sudden hike in accounts or AGM. If the monthly maintenance jumps sharply and there is no account audited, no budget or there is no general body resolution, then you have the right to question this increase. Transparency is considered a right now. Societies are expected to share where the money is going and not just announce a new number. And finally, the fourth area, charges for facilities that can't be used or don't exist. Being built for a clubhouse, gym or swimming pool that is under construction and not handed over is a classic example of unfair practice. Residents have argued saying that we will not pay for this until it is ready and usable and not before that. All 4 areas are places where you can say this specific charge has failed the legal test, I want it corrected. So the question is, how do you fight an unfair maintenance bill without harming yourself? Now the sensitive part is, if you know that a maintenance bill is unfair, how do you push it back without becoming the villain of the building or risking your essential service? Firstly, collect the documents: agreement, allotment letters, bills, bylaws, pass notices and AGM minutes. Most disputes collapse because simply nobody keeps the paper. Second, put your objection in writing. Not just verbal fights in the lobby. Send an email or a letter that clearly says which charge you are disputing, why you believe it is not valid, what changes or explanation you want. Step 3. Continue paying the undisputed part, and this is very important. Many legal guides suggest you keep paying the portion you agree is fair, for example basic maintenance, and dispute only the extra or hidden part. This way you are not a complete defaulter and your family is less likely to face cutoffs or pressure. Step 4. Escalate to the right forum if needed. If the issue is with the builder, pre-auct demands, hidden charges, undelivered facilities, you go to the state RERA authority. If it is about unfair charges or denial of services, you can approach the Consumer Commission. And if it is about society governance and bylaws, you can go to the registrar or relevant housing apartment authority in your state. The key is you are not refusing everything. You are showing that you are a responsible member who is fighting only for that part that breaks the rule. So before you wrap up, if you think this piece of information is really helpful, then make sure that you share it with someone who needs this, and don't forget to like this video. Also make sure you subscribe to Real Estate with Kiran for more such real estate related videos. Thank you for watching.